Hello, my wonderful YouTube friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Miriam, and I talk about all kinds of sewing and quilting related things here on YouTube. And this week is a fun week of sewing. It is. It really is. Today is Tuesday, May 27th. Yesterday, I did quite a bit of sewing, but I didn't record. I just was not in the mood to turn a camera on myself while I was working. Sometimes that happens, but I wanted to show you what I got done and then kind of take you along with me for the next couple of days while I get even more sewing done. I'm doing a lot of sewing for the next week or so. And then I will be shifting gears to creating my quilt kits and stuff for a quilt show that I'm doing. If you don't know, I'm doing a quilt show for the first time, and that is going to be June 11th through the 14th. So the 11th is the day that they let us come in and get all set up, and then the actual show will be the 12th through the 14th, and that is the Kansas City Regional Quilt Festival. It's going to be in Overland Park, Kansas. I'm very excited about it. I've been to this show before as like just a spectator, I guess is what you would call me. But I have never had a booth there. This is my first time doing a booth at a quilt show. I've done craft shows many times, and I really enjoyed doing that, but I haven't done one in a long time. I don't think I've done one since COVID. So it's been several years since I've done one. But yeah, so yesterday, I worked on getting this quilt top sewn together. So this is actually my newest quilt pattern called In Bloom, and I am hosting a sew-along currently for it. And we got to the stage where we actually sew the quilt top together. So I got my quilt top sewn together. Let me move you back so you can see the whole thing. It is so pretty. Let me bring you up close so you can see the fabrics, but they're really pretty. This is a Riley Blake Designs fabric. The line is called New Beginnings. It's just really cute and sweet looking. And I'm making this quilt for my mom, and she loves these colors, and she is very excited about this quilt. And I asked her what quilting she wanted me to do on it. And of course, she wants me to do that new quilting that I showed you in my most recent quilting tutorial. So I will grab that really quick to show you. Just in case you didn't see, I did a tutorial on how to do this quilting with just a regular domestic sewing machine. So I will be doing this quilting design on this quilt once I have the quilt sandwich made. I don't know if I will start that quite yet because I've just got so many other things that I need to get done for the quilt show, and this does not have to be done for the quilt show. It would be cool to have it done so I can show a second version of this pattern, but it doesn't have to be because I do have another quilt of this pattern already, and I've actually got that over here, and I've got that all sandwiched. So this is just another version of the quilt. I've got the quilt sandwich, and I need to quilt it. So I'm still thinking about how exactly I want to quilt it. I'm thinking about just doing like a loop-de-loop free motion quilting. That's one of my favorite ones to do. It's very fun, and it looks really nice, and I think it would look really cute with this pattern because it's just very dainty and just a really sweet pattern, and I think kind of a loop-de-loop would look cute. I might throw some flowers in with the loop-de-loops because I like to kind of mix in different shapes. So we'll see, but I will definitely show you how I do that if I do decide to do that quilting on that. So I've got that to work on, and this is done for now. So I'm probably not going to work on this specific one anymore this week, but I have to take this down, actually. I just had it up because I wanted to see it, and it just looks really nice in the background, right? But I have blocks for another quilt top that I'm making for the quilt show because I want to have a sample of one of my quilt kits that I'm making for my quilt pattern cake twist. So I need to take this down so I can get these blocks put up on my design wall and get that going. So that's my next thing that I'm working on. So these blocks are really cute. I really love this fabric line. This is from Art Gallery Fabrics, and the fabric line is called Hazelwood. And I have some of these layer cakes. These are made using a layer cake. So the quilt, here's my pattern for it. Close it up. It's called the cake twist, but this is what it'll look like. So I've made all of these blocks. It's all the blocks are made the exact same way. And then you turn them and it makes this really cool patchwork design, and it's really cool. So you use one layer cake and then 3 coordinating fabrics for the borders. And yeah, so that's what I am working on currently. I love this pattern. This is probably my most popular pattern. It's very, because it's very easy. It's taken me, I would guess, maybe 4 hours to get all of the blocks made. That's cutting, piecing, pressing, all of that. So it's a super quick quilt to make. It'll take another, I don't know, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to finish the quilt top. So it's very quick. It's a nice weekend project if you're looking for a nice weekend project. And I will link my shop in the description box below if you want to check out my patterns. I love to come up with beginner-friendly patterns that are beautiful and easy to follow and fun to make. That's a big deal to me. It should be fun to make, right? So I have a lot of fun figuring out how to make different blocks and write the instructions and make the little illustrations and all of that. I really, really enjoy it. So anywho, so that's what I'm going to be working on as well. And then once I have the quilt top made, then I have to make the quilt sandwich and then figure out how I want to quilt this one. So I love this process. This is why we do what we do, right? Quilting is just so much fun. I love just, I love the process of figuring out how I want to do everything, you know? Picking out the fabrics, picking out what pattern you want to make, picking out what size you want to make, all of that. It's just so much fun. So I am just gonna fold this up carefully. And then we'll start throwing up some blocks onto my little design wall. So I've had some questions about the design wall, and I thought I would give my opinions of it so far. So I love having a design wall. It's so cool. It's really fun having a designated spot to put my blocks when I'm figuring out where to place them for my quilt tops. It's really great to be able to kind of move stuff around and kind of visualize everything before I actually sew them together. So I quite like that. So for my design wall, for right now, it is a curtain rod. This is just a cheap curtain rod I got at Walmart. And I hung it up on my wall. And then I got these little clips. Here, let me bring it closer so you can actually see. So I got these little ring clips that were just right by the curtain rods. And I got one pack. I need to get another pack because it only came with how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It only came with 8 clips. And I'd kind of like to have more clips. And I'm just using some scrap batting. So as you can see, I have 2 separate pieces because that's what I had on hand for my scrap batting. And they're different colors. And I'd really like to switch it out with some, just one big piece of batting. I just haven't taken the time to do that yet. But that's literally it. It is batting hung up on a curtain rod. I haven't had to put anything extra on the batting for the blocks to stick. And this is 100% cotton batting, and the blocks just stick right to it. So I just kind of put it up on there and it sticks, right? So that's how that works. It's really cool and convenient, and I like that I can take the batting down if I want. I can also use this as a quilt holder, like how I had my quilt top up there. I had that clipped. I really, really like that. So I like the versatility of it because I wanted, when I have a design wall, I wanted it to have multiple functions, right? Because I won't always be using a design wall, but I wouldn't always be using a quilt hanger. But now I have both in one thing, right? So I really, really like that. I think it looks really nice. I like it better than, I know a lot of people, they make a design wall out of styrofoam or insulation board and they'll cover it with batting. But I just don't really like the idea of having this big clunky thing in here all the time that I'd have to move around. And yeah, I think this looks really nice and it looks intentional. And if I don't have blocks hung up on it, I'll just throw up a quilt and that's immediate backdrop for my videos, and it just looks pretty. You know, who doesn't love to have a quilt hanging on the wall? So that's kind of what my design wall is right now, and it's working very well. The only thing is once when I had my quilt rows, when I had my rows sewn together, my horizontal rows, they would not stick to the batting because I guess it's just a little too heavy, one big piece, a little too heavy to stick up there. I could easily pin them into the batting if I wanted to. Same goes for the quilt top. The quilt top wouldn't just stick on there, you know. Gravity does still work out here, so the batting isn't that sticky that it would hold a whole quilt top, but it does hold the blocks. And I just used some clamps that I had to hang my quilt top to the curtain rod. So these are my little clamps that I used, and I just used these instead of these clips. I didn't want to unclip the batting. I used these clamps instead. So that's what I like about the design wall. Let's go ahead and start putting some blocks up on the wall, okay? I've got my stacks of the blocks and I just kind of pick and choose which ones I want to go where, and I try not to have any prints that are the same touching each other. So that's kind of what I'm working on. So that's why I take a little bit of time to get stuff put up and situated the way I want it to be situated. So if you look, well, I'll wait till I get a full row done and then I'll show you what it looks like. So there's our first row, really cute. So I'll show you what I mean. So this large piece is down in the bottom right corner, and then this next one we rotate the block like that, and the next one we rotate it again so the large block is up on top, and then the next one we rotate it again and it's over here, and so on and so forth, and it looks really cool. Oh, beautiful. I really love these colors. They're really bold, yet really cute. I love these prints. There's like little mushrooms and snails. It's just very cute. Very cute. So I'm just going to continue working on the rows and putting them up. And yeah, we'll see how many rows I can fit on here. I'm guessing probably 5. And there's 7 rows in total, so we won't get everything put up on the design wall, but it'll be a very good start. So I'm gonna put my headphones on and listen to something, and I'll play you some music as well over this fast forwarding section, and we'll go from there. Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city, let's drive to the open. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty with
couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.
All right, I've got the first 5 rows up, so that looks really cool. Beautiful. This is gonna be such a cozy quilt. I can't wait. So now I get to take the rows down and sew them. So I'm gonna, well, first, remember, take a picture of what we've put up there. So we remember what order everything goes in, and this especially is important since the rows are rotated. So I'm just going to take a picture. All right. And now I have my picture, and I can reference this when I put the rows together if I need to, just in case. So, ooh, this looks really cool. I really like these fabrics. So I'm just going to start, I'm going to put all the blocks off to the side that are for the other rows. So I realized after I was looking at it, I only needed 6 blocks in a row, and I had rotated slightly incorrectly. So I took down most of the blocks. I'm gonna redo it so it's done right, because the sample needs to look like how the pattern looks. If I was just making this quilt just for fun, I would have just left it. But since the sample really does need to look like what the quilt is supposed to look like at the end, I'm fixing it. So that is what I am working on right now.
Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Yeah, we only get one life. I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand.
Now it's fixed. Now they're facing in the direction that they need to. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sewing these rows together. I'm gonna first take my picture. I need to delete these other pictures so I don't get confused. Take our picture of our rows. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look how pretty. And now I can start sewing them together.
In a world of green, just like a dream, you and I standing wild and free, with petals so golden, the sun's warm kiss, a love so strong, a bliss. Whispers of the breeze, secrets unfold. It's you that I need, it's you that I want. When the world gets cold, it's you and me. When the sun comes back, you'll see. Oh, dandelion, the strength that toughest of times, we still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Forever we will grow.
So I got 4 of the 5 rows done, so I'm moving the 5th row up so I can see it, and then I'm gonna lay out the last 2 rows so I can see them compared to this one and make sure I don't have any prints that will go together, like the same prints. And I'm just gonna put the rest of these up here.
Deep within your eyes, I found a home. The love that we share can never grow. In your gaze, the world looks bright. Forever by your side. This town is quiet, serene and wide. You keep me warm and safe at night. No matter the season, we always bloom. 'Cause you light up the gloom. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown. Stronger each year, look how we hold on. Through the toughest of times, we still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown. Stronger each year, look how we hold on. Through the toughest of times, we still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Forever we will grow. Forever we will
All right. Wow, I've been filming for 77 minutes. Hopefully this video isn't that long. So I just got my rows sewn together and now I am going to press my seams. So I'm just going to press them rows 1, 3, 5, and 7. All of the seams will be pressed to the left. And then rows 2, 4, and 6, I will press towards the right. So then those seams will be nesting and I'll lay nice and flat, and then I'll be able to sew the rows together and make my quilt top. I'm excited to see it done. I really like these fabrics. It's really pretty. But all right, I'm gonna press them and then sew them together, and then I'll show you the quilt top so far. And then once that's done, then I just add 3 thin borders, which looks really nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see this one come together. I just love this pattern. It's so much fun. All right, I'll catch back up with you in just a little bit. All right, check it out, you guys. I got it done. Oh, what a fun day of sewing. This was so much fun. Wow, this looks really cool. I quite like it. Bring the camera closer so you can see. So see, it looks like a really complicated, funky pattern, but it's so easy to make. And I think the border really just kind of finishes it off and makes it look really, really nice. So I'm tired and I've had a lot of fun, but I've gotten a lot done. So I am going to call it a day. It's almost 5 o'clock and I need to go cook some dinner. But thanks for joining me for today's sewing. Tomorrow I will be doing something else. I'm not sure what I'll do yet. I might start quilting this quilt. I just have to think about how I want to quilt it. Some type of free motion. probably the loop-de-loop, because that's really fun and it's pretty quick. I do have a lot of stuff I need to do, so I can't take a super long time figuring out the quilting and all of that, but I'll be able to get that done, and then I'll be on to the next project the next day. So getting lots done. Feels so good working out here. It's so nice. It's actually raining a little bit, and it's nice to hear the raindrops on the roof. It's cozy. But anyways, I will see you out here tomorrow, and we'll get some more done. I think this looks really cool. I really like the colors. I was a little hesitant because I wasn't sure if the fabrics would look good in this pattern, but I think it looks great. It looks great. It's going to be a really cozy quilt. It's going to look really good with my chair over yonder. My big brown flexi spot chair. It's going to look really nice with that because the colors really go. So I'll probably have it on that chair when I'm not using it. But all right, I will see you in the morning, okay? Bye-bye for now. Hello and good morning. We are back out in the studio now, and I have some work to do today. So what I'm planning on is, what do I want to do? I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and just start quilting the one quilt sandwich that I already have put together, or if I want to do a couple of quilt sandwiches before I start quilting. That's kind of what I'm trying to think of. I might go ahead and just do the quilt sandwiches first because, well, I have a couple of reasons. I would just like to get that done. And number two is I feel like I kind of need to be in the mood for quilting. I have to kind of gear up and get ready for it. And I'm just really not in the mood for quilting right at this moment. First thing in the morning just doesn't sound super fun. But making a quilt sandwich, you know, that's kind of mindless work. I don't really have to be super creative or in the mood to do it, to be able to do it right. So I'm going to be making, I have to do a couple of quilt sandwiches, but I'll do this one first. So this quilt top that we just made yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and put together that quilt sandwich. Now that I'm talking out loud, I realize, do I have a back for it? I need to just buy a bolt, just bite the bullet and buy a bolt of wide backing, just so I have it on hand. Let's see, what do I have? Because as funny as it is, you know, I've gotten like bolts and bolts of fabric in from my fabric orders the last couple of weeks, but I can't use those for whatever I want because those are for customers. That's for something completely different. So those aren't my fabric stash, right? So I'm trying to think of what I have in my fabric stash that I could use as a backing. Let's see. I actually have a bolt of fabric that I bought. I have this really pretty kind of twinkly star. This is a Robert Kaufman. It's from the Paint Box collection. I really like this. So I bought this because it was on, I do believe Missouri Star Quilt Company was having a really good bolt sale one day, and I really liked this. So let's see. Does that go? I think that goes. I mean, it's a brown. And it'll be on the back of the quilt. Because I don't know if I have many options. So I have that. And I don't think I have any wide backing. I do have a wide back that I bought for another quilt, but that quilt's not going to be done for like months. I could use this for this quilt and then just order more for the quilt that it was meant for. So I have this really pretty flowery daisy print. Let's see, what is this? It's from Bernatec's Bee Haven by Rachel Rossi. Yeah, that's really pretty. And does that go with it? I mean, that goes. And that would be a pretty backing. I don't usually use a light color for a backing, but I did buy this, so that is a possibility. I need to decide that pretty quick here, which one of these I want to use. See, this is where it gets confusing, because slide those up. Because which one do I want to go with? I mean, this one goes better. Let me bring you up closer. This one definitely goes better with the color palette. This, to my eye, doesn't quite go. You know, it is a brown, but just the kind of vibe of the fabric. This fabric's more cutesy. And these aren't super cutesy fabrics. They're, you know, more, I don't know how to describe it. Just not the same vibe. But I think this cream one actually goes really well. So I think I'm going to use that. Yep. I'm going to use that for that quilt sandwich. So those two will go together. I'll put this back in my stash. Save it for another day. Another day, another project. And then for my other in bloom quilt that I'm making, this one, the one I'm making for my mom, this one I just bought fabric from this line, just yardage, and I'll sew it together to make a wide enough back for the quilt. So I'm going to use that for the backing for this one, so I don't need to worry about that. Oh my goodness, Obi's getting ready for a nap. I gotta show you this. Let's see, can I zoom in? Yep. She's getting ready for her nap. Obi, are you going to take a nap, honey? You going to take a nap? You going to go sleep? Huh? Oh my goodness. She's so cute. Oops, I'm still zoomed in. That's not what we want. Oh, I will say real quick, I got a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but several comments on my last video that went up a few days ago. And I got a new bed, right? It's a shorter bed for Obi. And a lot of people said, well, why don't you just get a ramp? Or why don't you just get stairs for Obi? And then, you know, you don't need the new bed. I had stairs. I bought a set of stairs that were like perfect height for my old bed. And Obi refused to use them. She would not use them. It was, I had it set up where she could barely get up into the bed unless she used the stairs, and she still would not use the stairs. And it scared me every time she tried to jump up in the bed, because she was trying to leap up over the stairs or right next to the stairs, and it was awful. I tried everything. I tried treats. I tried, you know, showing her, taking her feet and putting it on the steps and showing her that it was safe, and I would be able to get her to go on it once in a while. And I had these stairs up consistently in our room for, I would say, like 6 months, and she would not learn to use them. She just refused. Just once in a while she would use it, and it wasn't working. So that's why I don't have stairs. That's why I didn't get a ramp, because Obi is just weird and apparently untrainable when it comes to stairs. So that's why. It's the same thing with the daybed out here. She will not use the stairs, but I have this ottoman that I bought that I have sitting under the bed. And right now it's got like this fake leather, like pleather stuff on it, and it's slippery, but I'm going to make a cover for it so she can hop up. And I think she would be more comfortable hopping up onto that and then up onto the daybed. So I'm going to try that later this summer when I have time to make the cover. She is a wonderful dog, but she is very hard to train, and she's very scared of new things. She's a very reactive dog, so I kind of just have to work with what she will let me do and stuff like that. So it's a tricky situation, right? But anyways, I just wanted to address that really quick. Let's get started with work. I'm talking way too much. All right, I'm going to clear off the table, then we'll get started. So I've got the table cleared off and now I can make my quilt sandwich. So this is the way I do it and it works for me. All right. So most of you probably know that I use glue basting for basting my layers together. So I use Elmer's school glue. Oops, I'm trying to put something down without dropping it. Elmer's school glue works great. If you're interested in seeing my videos on that, I've done several videos on glue basting with Elmer's school glue. So I won't do a tutorial in this video because it's just something I've done several times. But basically, I figured out to make my quilt sandwiches down here. I kind of get my ironing board over here, roll of batting here, and I just have it up close to my table so it won't fall off.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all.
Good morning and welcome back. So yesterday I made my quilt sandwich for my cake twist sample quilt and it looks lovely. It's ready to be quilted. And I basted my quilt top for my second in bloom quilt that I'm doing for the sew along, but I haven't done the backing yet because I have to piece it, and I just didn't do that yesterday because I decided to go run a bunch of errands that really needed to be done. Yesterday afternoon I was gone all day until like 5 or 6, something like that. I think it was closer to 6. So then I got home and I was tired from being out all day. I didn't get any other work done, but I did while I was out running errands. One of the things that I needed to do was check my P.O. box, and I got my May Sew Sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop. So I thought I would open that with you guys here real quick since I got that in the mail. This is really fun. If you don't know, the Fat Quarter Shop is a online only quilt shop, and they carry pretty much everything. Anything that you could think of, from fabric, notions, thread. They have a bunch of cross stitch stuff if you're into cross stitch. I think they do also carry some yarn and things. So yeah, it's really great and kind of a one-stop shop, and I really like them. Kimberly Jolly has a huge YouTube channel. She's I think the owner of the Fat Quarter Shop. Yeah, she's really fun, very sweet, and I enjoy her tutorials. But anyways, let's go ahead and open this month's Sew Sampler box and see what we got. There we go. All right, so when you open the box, this is what it looks like. Very cute, right? This month's theme is Cottage Garden. If that's not something right up my alley, I don't know what is. Cottage Garden, May 25. So this is really cute. This has some QR codes for some quilt alongs and a pattern. And ooh, also a 15% off Moda yardage. That's nice. So that's very good. And then I really like this. This always comes in these boxes, and this has, it's like a little handout that tells you what's in the box, the retail value of it, and that sort of thing. So that's really nice. I like that. Ooh, I'm seeing some cute stuff. Okay, I'm excited to get this opened. So I'm going to set that aside. But that's really nice that they include that. So first things first, look at these adorable woven labels. These are for Minky Kim. I love her patterns. I don't know if you've seen her patterns, but she makes like so many really cute like crossbody bags and stuff, and they're all quilted, but they're so cute. But these are little labels that you can put on stuff. Cute. Good vibes always. How cute is that? And you can just stitch that onto a quilt or a bag or anything that you make. And there's several of them. Here, I'll show them to you here real quick. I've actually been thinking about designing some of these, and I think it's become kind of a popular thing to make woven labels. So that's another one. I love that. So cute. Oh, it's a little embroidery hoop. Oh my goodness, that's adorable. Some scissors. Very cute. A little strawberry. Adorable. Handmade. Love that. Oh goodness. Okay, so this is like a little tag that you would put on that has two sides. I think this is supposed to look like embroidery thread, like on the little holders, but I totally thought that they were like dog bones. So I was like, my brain was going to making something for Obi and then putting this as the label. But I do believe that is actually supposed to be little embroidery floss holders. That's cute too. I love that. And then there's another one that is like a folded label, and it's just got some cute cross stitches on it. So it's that on one side, and then on the other, the colors are reversed. Really cute. I love those. I think that's such a cute thing to be able to get and really put a little personal touch on a finished piece. I really like those. I'm definitely going to use those in the future. Let's see. Quilt notes. 48 pages of graph paper. Oh, that's a little notebook. You can never have too many notebooks, right? And this is graph paper, so you can kind of play around and design your own blocks if you want, or a quilt. That's really nice. And it's like pocket size. It kind of looks like a field notes notebook, if you know about those. I'm a big like stationery, journaling, planner nerd, so I know all about the different notebooks. So if you've ever heard of a field notes notepad, this is what, I think this is supposed to look like that, but it's for quilters. Really cute. I like that. Ooh, we got some pretty fabric. Very cool. These are from Corey Yoder, and this is her fabric line called A Bloom. Cute. Very pretty colors. Very sweet little florals. Super cute. This is Jolly Bar, which is Fat Quarter Shop's kind of signature pre-cut. So really, really cute. They're 5 by 10 inch rectangle, so it's like half a layer cake is a Jolly Bar. Very cute. Very cute. I'll definitely use that for something. We'll figure out something. And it also comes with, I think this is a panel. And let's unpackage it because I want to see what it looks like. I think it's supposed to kind of mimic the look of a cross stitch. So let me move back a little ways so you can see. Oh yeah. Oh, cute. Okay, so this panel has, it's like a bunch of different quilt blocks, but they look like cross stitch. Let me hold it up close to the camera. So it's cross stitch, but it looks like quilt blocks. That's really cute. I feel like that could be used in so many different ways. That's adorable. I'm gonna have to figure out something to make with this because I really like that. It's really cute. I am gonna have to make curtains for out here. So I've been trying to think of what I want to do because I made just really simple patchwork curtains for my bedroom. That was really fun, but I don't know if I want to do the exact same thing for my curtains out here because I would kind of like it to be a little bit different. So perhaps include some of this in there. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But then we have, let's see, here's a pattern that goes along with our A Bloom pre-cut. So that's nice. I like that they include that. And oh, here's a pattern that uses the panel. Yeah. So this pattern uses the panel in the center of these blocks. And this looks like a really cute quilt pattern. I like it. And it's very quick to make, I think. It looks very, very, very fun. So yeah, so you could use the pre-cut and the panel for this one as well. So there's options, which is cool. I like that they give options to use the different things and kind of, they set you up for a full project, right? And then we have the second flowering block for their new sew along that they're doing. So that's a cute block. I like that. It's very similar, I think, to my In Bloom block. It's a little different, a little more complex, but very similar to my In Bloom block. So obviously I would like this. So I might have to make some of these. This is very cute. That was the box. Not as much stuff as has been in previous boxes, but you know what? That's okay. That's all right. I think probably my favorite thing from the box is these little woven labels because I just think those are so cute and it's a fun way to add a little pizzazz to a project, right? So I really like those. But anywho, that is the May Sew Sampler box. Thanks for unpacking it with me. And I'm putting everything back in so I don't misplace anything. There we go. Put it all back together. All right. Now for the plan for the rest of the day / week. So today is Thursday. It's Thursday morning, May 29th. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I was doing some computer work and printing work for my quilt patterns this morning. I've finally come out here to get some stuff done. So my plan is I have to first piece my backing for my In Bloom quilt. I've actually got the In Bloom quilt just laying on my table here. There you go. So it's all glue basted, it's stuck down, it's perfect. But now let's raise this so you can actually see my whole head. So I gotta make the backing, which I just bought yardage from one of the prints from the collection, and I'm just gonna cut it. I bought like 4 or 4.5 yards, something like that. I'll just cut that big long piece in half and then sew the 2 pieces together to make my backing. I'm not doing anything fancy for the backing for this one. And then I need to baste it, and that shouldn't take very long. That will take less than an hour to get that backing made and everything basted and everything. What do I do after that? That's the question. I am probably going to sit down and plan out the quilting that I want to do for this quilt, for this In Bloom quilt and for my other In Bloom quilt. So I've got 3 quilts that I'm going to have to quilt. 2 of them need to be done by June 11th because that's when I leave for my quilt show that I'm doing out in Kansas City. So I should be able to get that done, and then, but I'm not going to get that done this weekend. I'm pretty quick with quilting, but I'm not that quick. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to plan out what quilting I want to do, and then I'm probably going to edit this video and get that all put up for YouTube because I like my video to go out. I like it to be consistent and go out on Fridays at 8 a.m. Central Time. So I need to get this video edited. I have no idea how. I took a lot of footage. I recorded a lot. I don't know how much of it I'm actually going to put in the video. It's kind of like trying to pick what to put in, what would be interesting or fun for people to watch. It's all kind of a guessing game sometimes when you're not doing like a straight up tutorial. So yeah, but I'll be working on that. That will take many hours. It'll probably take a good chunk of the day. Yeah, and then this weekend, I'm going to focus on getting fabric started. I'm going to focus on starting to cut fabric and get my fabric bundles put together for the quilt show because I don't want to be crazy rushed at the very last minute trying to get that done. Because if you're crazy rushed when cutting fabric, I think we all know that you're more likely to make mistakes. And this is really something I can't make a mistake with because it's fabric bundles that people are actually going to be buying. You know, it's not just something for me, it's something for potential customers, and I want it to be done correctly. So I'll start working on that. I'm really excited to get that going, and with that I have to like design little tags for stuff and sheets that will go in with the kits and stuff. I want everything to be super self-explanatory and no one to have a problem with anything. So lots of stuff. My brain's going all over the place, but it's so fun figuring this stuff out, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think the show's going to be a lot of fun. I got another shipment of fabric that I bought from Art Gallery Fabric. So they had a bunch of bolts on sale. So when you buy wholesale, you're getting a discounted price. But then these companies will also once in a while have sales on top of the wholesale price. So I went ahead and grabbed like 13 bolts of fabric, and I'm going to make different bundles with that fabric, different fat quarter bundles, and then maybe some like half yard bundles, and have those for sale at the show too. Just trying to get kind of a feel for what people are interested in, right? And then that will help guide me in future fabric sales, you know, on my website and everything. I wanted to address one thing with the fabric sales that I've had a few people say stuff about it, but they've said like, I will not order fabric from you because you have pets. And that's totally valid, totally understandable that you would not want to purchase fabric from someone if you have allergies or something. One person told me that I need to decide if I want to be successful or if I want to have my dog with me. Those are my 2 options. But yeah, I think I can be successful and have Obi out here with me. Here's the thing. The fabric that I am going to be selling is going to be behind closed doors unless I'm cutting from the bolt. So it's not going to be on the floor. And Obi doesn't get into my stuff like at all. Now that we've been out here, she's been on the daybed like 70% of the time, and the other 30% she's outside playing. So she doesn't mess with my stuff anyways. And she has dog hair. It's not cat hair. My cats will not be out here because it's just too much. And I don't want to carry them from the house to out here. I wouldn't want one to get loose somehow. And I think they would just get stressed out if they were out here, honestly. I don't think they would I don't think they would like it. They're kind of scaredy cats, right? So my cats will never be out here. They'll never be with the fabric. I have no fabric in my house. And Obi will be out here with me. I'm going to be 100% transparent and honest. My dog is going to be out here. So if you have dog allergies and you're nervous about getting, having some kind of allergic reaction, then my shop's not for you. But, you know, I'm not going to be selling to every single person that watches my videos. You know, I'm going to have a very, very small percentage of people are even going to order from me probably. But I am planning on purchasing some cabinetry that will have glass doors so I can still see the fabric, but it will be closed off. Obi will not be able to get to it if she even tried, which she doesn't. And I never find her hair on fabric anyways. It's just not, it's like a non-issue. But some people have very extreme allergies, and if something's just in the room with an animal, they could possibly have a reaction. So, but I will say, a lot of people that sell fabric, if you order fabric from Etsy or whatever, they have animals in their house where they have their fabric, okay? They're just not as transparent about it, right? Because, you know, I'm putting my whole business and everything online and letting you glimpse into everything that I'm doing. Most fabric shops, online fabric shops don't. I have been to several quilt shops that have dogs in the quilt shop. So it's not like this, it's like something that never happens, that a dog is around in the space. So, I just wanted to get that out there. I know it is a concern for some people, and I totally understand. It's a smoke-free environment. I don't smoke. And I don't use perfumes, so, because I personally am very sensitive to scents, so there won't be any issues with that. But I do have my dog, and we're together 24/7. That's not going to change. I'm not going to lock my dog in my house all day long, every day, while I'm out here working, because a couple of people tell me they're not going to buy from me anyways, you know. So I'm not trying to be snotty. And I think most people get it. Most people have pets or aren't bothered by it. And again, there won't be any animal hair on the fabric. I'll even look it over when I send it out, you know. So it's I don't know. It's just something that's been festering in my brain since I've talked about selling fabric, and I understand the concern. I really do, and that's totally fine if people don't want to order from me because I have Obi out here. That's okay. You know? That's okay. Because everybody's not going to be a customer. That's just the reality of it. You know, that's not my expectation. And I'm not, at least right now, I'm not planning on this being like a huge business venture. You know, it's just something that I'm dabbling in and I'm going to try, because I am trying to build a legit business, you know. It's not a spur of the moment decision that I'm making. This is a lot of thought and consideration and prayer and just a lot of discussing with my family, just trying to figure out what's the best choice for me right now. And this is something that I feel like I could do, and it's something that I'm going to try to do and see what happens, you know. So it's not like this spur of the moment thing. I think some people got that idea because I am very energetic and very bubbly, I guess is the word. That's just how I've always been. And I think people will take that as I'm not very smart, or I'm not very, you know, I don't think things through. Like, I think they just think that, whoa, I'm going to order a bunch of fabric and see what happens, you know. That's not the case. I am an extreme overthinker. And I think things through, and I do not make impulse buys, especially when it comes to these fabric orders. My goodness, they are very expensive. It's a big gamble for me because I don't know if it's going to work out. And I have thousands of dollars planted into this fabric venture. I'll be honest about that. I've put in a lot of money into these fabric orders to see if it works. And it's a big deal for me, and it was a big decision, just like this building was. It wasn't just an impulse buy. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of reflecting lately. But yeah, I think some people think that they can kind of talk to me in such a way because I am younger. And I think some people think that I'm younger than I am. So they think they can just kind of, you know, swat the bear cub down, you know, or just kind of tell me how it is, or, you know, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, or whatever. And I know there's going to be criticism, and it just comes with the territory, unfortunately, with putting stuff on the internet. There's going to be people that are going to criticize and just throw some negativity in there. And I need to grow a thick skin with it because it's just going to keep happening. It's not going to just magically end one day. But these are the things I think about. And this has been a lot of little decisions piling up to do something like this. And this is literally something I've wanted to do for many years, probably 8+ years. I've thought about and dreamt about having the ability to have a little fabric shop, and now I can, at least for now, and I'm excited about it, you know. And I really appreciate those who have been excited for me and have been supportive and all of that. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. But yeah, this wasn't just a spur of the moment decision for me to purchase fabric and try to do the whole fabric selling thing. And yeah, but I'm not going to not have Obi out here with me. She's my companion, you know. She's those of you who have a dog that you're extremely attached to, you get it. And you know. So, and she's my little buddy. And she would have extreme separation anxiety if she was stuck in the house all day. And I just don't want to put her through that. I don't want to put myself through that because I don't like being apart from her either. Anywho, I just wanted to say that here and go through that. But so the video for next week, I'll probably feature me quilting a couple of the quilts, because I'd really like to get both of my quilts that I need to get done for the show done next week. That's going to be the goal. I think I can get one of them done this weekend, depending on what quilting I do. And then the next week I'll do the other quilting. So yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm going to work on. I think I'll just end the video here. This has been fun sharing with you guys what I'm up to this week and kind of what I'm getting done. And I'll get a lot more done by next video. I'm excited to show you everything that I get done this coming week because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be very, very busy for the next 2 weeks. But I will try to do as much recording as I can. That's about it for me today, you guys. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. If you have any questions or concerns or constructive criticism for me, you can certainly leave it in the comments below. I'm happy to chat with you guys down there. Just thank you so much for all of your support, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye-bye. And it's really great. Oops. Almost knocked down the camera. Ooh, I gotta sneeze. Hold on a second. Oh. Okay. But